are so confused when they see people that look different. And of course, I may have features that look a little different because my mother is white, right? So it's not that hard to look like your mom.
No, of course.
And I think where I've come down on it is it's really nobody's business.
100%.
And I think I get to determine my identity, but I still think because of the founding of this country and because of the otherizing of people like myself, it's still going to always be an issue. I mean, I wrote a whole book about it, right? That was what my memoir in large part was about. It's just fascinating to me that people, rather than ask you so many more important questions, the question is, what are you?
Excuse me. Excuse me, darling. I'm sick.
She keeps saying it's nobody's business, but she won't stop talking about it. Nobody cares. We're in 2024. Everybody knows that you're mixed.
These black men that he was speaking with, I'd love to see them. It would be like looking at unicorns. I thought it was interesting that the framing was a room of black Republicans. Where are they? Where are they? Because if you look at the stats, 81% of black men are part of the Democratic Party. Black voters consistently align with the Democratic Party. Over 95% of black women are part of the Democratic Party. So these black men that he was speaking with, I'd love to see them. It would be like looking at unicorns. And so I think that the sad thing is, I agree with you, Anna, is that this came from the mouth of a black man, right? And so if you're pandering yourself and your community and your history to a man like Donald Trump, who is a disgraced, one-term, twice impeached, convicted felon, we get to say now, is even more despicable. It did start, as Whoopi said, in the industry at a time when few people of color were on TV and in movies. And early...
Everybody's a people of color.
Yes.
She has a habit of saying bold things that stir up trouble, especially when talking about the black community. Again and again, her live TV comments cause a wave of backlash, and people call her out in ways that are hard to miss. But instead of thinking twice or learning from it, she just keeps going, making it clear she might not fully see how her words affect others.
About my family history. I was really reluctant. I don't know how you felt when you did it, Whoopi, but I was really reluctant to do it because I just sensed that there could be something in my family history that would be disappointing. And they actually originate from Spain. And the reason that they moved to Puerto Rico is because the slave trade had been sort of canceled in Spain and then Curacao, and then they moved all of their slaves to Puerto Rico. And so the family business, I had been told that they were printers and journalists, but they were in fact enslavers. And my mother...
So hush fell over the audience.
And it's deeply disappointing because my mother really identified as Puerto Rican. She was deeply ingrained in black culture and identified herself as black for race, but I sort of knew that this was my history, and that's probably why I didn't want to do it. And I spoke to my mom about it. She was deeply disappointed. She actually cried about it, and then she said, maybe that's why I have been so connected to black culture, because it's an atonement in my spirit. And I received that. I also found out that, and there were slaves on both sides of our family, mothers and fathers, but we are 7% indigenous Puerto Rican.
I don't give a damn. People don't care how you look, Sonny. Okay, whatever you look like, you look like. Many people look like their mom, their dad, their grandparents, aunts, uncles, whatever. She wants people to focus on who's your mom? Is your mom white or whatever she said. That's number one. Number two, I think, and I stopped long ago, okay? I stopped saying there were many races when I learned that there really is only one human race. 99.999% of our DNA is the same. It may be different combinations of the chromosomes and things like that, but it is the same. So there's only one human.
It's starting to seem like Sunny Host stirs things up just to stay in the spotlight, only to end up looking bad again and again. But this time, she picked the wrong person to push, Hollywood legend Billy D. Williams. The star, who's seen it all, came on The View to share his amazing story. But instead of honoring his work, Sunny turned it into one of her usual race-driven talks. What came next? Let's just say, it backfired fast. Before we get into it, if you like our videos, hit the like button and subscribe. It's free for you, and a huge help for us.
I'm so honored to meet you. I will be honest, I'm just looking at Lando Calrissian in my mind, and Lady Sings the Blues, and Mahogany, and just... Right? That's all I mean, just incredible. So you did start, as Whoopi said, in the industry at a time when few people of color were on TV and in movies, and early...
Everybody's a people of color.
Yes. Well, a black man.
Well, a brown-skinned man?
Brown-skinned man. And early on, you struggled to find work, being offered either stereotypical roles or nothing at all. Did you ever think about quitting? And if you didn't, what kept you going?
Well, I don't know. You just live from moment to moment and do what you have to do and expect things to not always...
From the moment Billy D. Williams walked onto The View, you could see the hosts were taken in. He's got that classic charm that stands out. But even his calm presence couldn't stop the show from heading into familiar ground. Like always, the talk shifted toward race and labels, with Sunny host leading the charge. At first, she praised him, but seconds later, she tried to pull him into her usual race-based talk, clearly thinking he'd say the industry was unfair. But Billy D didn't play along. He stayed calm and firm, replying with one strong line, "Everybody's a person of color." That flipped the whole room. The crowd reacted right away, and online chatter took off. Some asked, wait, does Billy D not see himself as black? Others were just puzzled. But here's the truth, he refused to let the show put him into a box or push a story he didn't agree with. When that failed, the host tried switching the topic to his film Brian's Song, trying to make it about men and emotions. But by then, it was too late. Billy D had made his point, and in doing so, showed how The View often leans on race and victim talk. As for Sunny, she once again proved she's not great at reading the moment or knowing when to stop.
It was a movie before its time in that it gave a lot of men everywhere permission to feel some of those things they didn't always get that, it wasn't always allowed.
Well, I was a follower of Carl Jung.
Oh, yes.
And
I dated him.
And he coined the phrase anima animus.
Yes.
And anima being the female counterpart of the male self, and the animus the male counterpart of the female self.
Yeah.
And I always, in fact, I was talking about it, and what was that phrase, the gender phrase, what do you call it?
Oh, toxic masculinity?
No.
Okay.
It's
Binary fluidity? Gender fluid?
gender fluid.
Yeah. Gender fluid.
Yeah, and my daughter got very excited about that.
Did she?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, because she's a liberal.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Those damn liberals!
Sunny host just can't help herself. Anytime a real topic comes up, she jumps in with the same worn-out woke lines. It's like she's stuck on loop. When Billy D. Williams mentioned Brian's Song, she instantly dropped the term toxic masculinity like it was set on auto-reply. But Williams, cool, calm, and smooth as always, tried to explain how the media twisted his old comments about Lando Calrissian, turning a simple line into a strange claim that he was gender fluid or into men. Instead of listening, Sunny and the panel took over and spun it into their usual message. The difference between them was clear. On one side, you've got Sunny Hostin, privileged, out of touch, and always complaining about struggles she hasn't really lived. On the other, you've got Billy D. Williams, a real star who's seen it all and still stands for hard work, family, and owning your choices. One earns respect. The other? Not so much. Was Billy D saying something deeper when he said, "We're all people of color"? Or was it just The View twisting things again to match their script? That's it for today's video. If you liked the breakdown, hit that like button and subscribe. It's totally free and really helps us grow. Drop your thoughts on Sunny Hostin's comments below.